And we return to the party. Surprise family reunion. As you notice your parents escape. They were tied up in the back room. As you notice them leave the back room and enter this main room of the Sleeping Moon Tavern. Koria, noticing you notice them, she kind of embracing Asher, kind of peeks around and looks at you and smiles.
I'm just going to blow her a kiss.
She kind of just takes it. And then you feel kind of crawl up your shoulder. Little Uncle Tambrin. Her father.
She's going to, as he's crawling up, put her hand out and then just walk over and set Uncle Tambrin right in front of her face. And then she's going to run around and be like, Mulierada! And then she's going to give them very big hugs.
Your father first embraces you and kind of squeezes real tight, kind of pats you on the back, kind of rubs your hair a little bit, and then kind of lets you go and brings your mother over a little bit closer, and she kind of wraps an arm around you as well. I was deathly worried about you, my sweet prickly thorn.
Well, as you can see, totally okay.
I'm sure you have a lot of stories to tell. And then your mother speaks up. And I expect that you won't leave out any details.
No, Muliera, I won't. Don't be so stiff. And then she's just gonna give her mom an even bigger hug and pat her back.
And Koria, kind of looking and holding little tree Tambrin. She kind of just studies him a little bit, and it's the same back to her. He kind of just almost like when you introduce a small child for the first time to somebody that they are supposed to know, and he kind of shy, a little bit bashful, and studies her. And she kind of looks at Asher and then back at Tambrin.
Hoping it would be a little bit more gentle introduction. Koria, this is Tambrin.
Strange. I know that he's here, but it's like he's not. Not like he was. Not like he's supposed to be.
Well, he's still a sapling. I mean, I've only heard stories and from the Wood Elf culture, but he will become a protector of your home.
It's very rare that this happens. Never in my lifetime have I seen this in reality. I'm just glad you're both back to me. You have to introduce me to your friends.
Well, this is who's like right closest to the door.
It's probably be Rowan.
You're like, well, this is Rowan. I believe you might have some letters for him.
Oh,
Behind
Rowan.
him is Ace and Karan following.
Rowan's gonna kind of get out of the doorway and kind of let them come in.
Well, everyone, this is Coria, Briar's cousin, and my wife.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Coria. I've heard
Rowan.
such good things about you.
Rowan's gonna go up and give her
Indeed.
a nice little gentle handshake. It's nice to meet you. Finally.
Yeah, so you're Rowan. Let me go grab your letters. I'm sure you're probably dying to hear.
That can wait if you want to kind of mingle with the family a little bit.
But you might have to remind me.
I'll remind you, don't worry.
And Coria kind of makes her way over to you, Briar, as well.
Hello, troublemaker.
Look who's talking. It's good to see you.
You too.
You keep him safe?
Yes, as best as I could, trust me. And she's going to give him a glance. You've married a very good man. He's got a good sense of humor. He's a good fit for you. I thought he had a little bit of a stick up of his butt, but he loosened up a bit.
He can be a bit serious. But I like that about him.
Yes,
We balance each other out, I think.
Right, we all need a little bit of balance for the chaos. So,
RL looks at Ciora.
she's gonna take off because she's been wearing Tambrin's little leaf cloak, and she's like, and she's just gonna wrap it around her cousin and tie it in a cute little bow. My little, I don't need this. I carry Tambrin in here and in here. But you might want something that was a little bit of your father when he was still your father.
She just wraps it around herself and kind of buries her nose in it. And she kind of eyes little tree Tambrin. Still kind of a strange skepticism. You see Tambrin still looking not only at Coria, but also Ciora, his sister in a past life.
So, a word to the wise. If you want him to warm up to you friendly, very quickly, give him treats. You can notice the little belly. We've been feeding him well and keeping him very happy.
What does he eat?
Plants. Little leaves, little petals, anything tiny and flowery. But, Escher is good at feeding him. He's like liberal salad all the time.
Right. And I'll go out real quick and grab some like flowers and stuff from out front and bring it in and hand it to the family.
So everybody take your bundles, do your thing, like make it a whoosh, so that he's more happy with the tasty treats. And she's gonna grab Uncle Tambrin and bring him close.
And Tamrin's still kind of... And Coria kind of reaches out. Just a little petal. And he kind of... She's just like...
I know he's seriously the cutest.
Never thought I'd have to raise my own father. Do you think he'll ever remember? When he's older?
She's gonna glance at her mom. Mulier?
I don't know how it works. Honest. I never experienced it in my lifetime either.
Well, for now it seems like he has an impression, but I do not know if he will have any thoughts of his own. But he seems to, well, he has already done things on his own. It was quite shocking when it happened. I mean, he used to live in a pot and now he's got little legs. He can go around. But maybe, perhaps. I mean, he's still a little bit of your dad, I would like to think.
You see him kind of sit there, having finished the petal that was given to him. And he kind of reaches out to Coria. She scoops him up. He still reaches out, so she brings him close, and he kind of hugs just right here. Then he looks over her shoulder and kind of looks at Siora. And then looks up at Coria. Kind of buries his face into her neck a little bit. Siora kind of walks up, kind of behind Coria, and kind of peers at Tambrin. I told you to be safe, and you went and got yourself killed. I don't know how to feel. It's like you're gone, but it's like you're still here. She kind of turns and just walks away.
Before she walks away, Asher's gonna like speak up, be like, well, I know it doesn't mean much, but he died protecting a village of druidic peoples. An
Klepians
ally
are
of
good people. They're worth it. I'm sure it was probably part of their doing that he was able to reincarnate in this way. So for that I am thankful for them. We owe them a lot, especially in the Amaranth. They're good people.
Ace just kind of sitting, I'm imagining, at a table at this point, giving them their space with probably Rowan and Corone. Is kind of like, you could see a tear, and he's just coming down his. Their compassion for family is just so beautiful. Like, just, I love it so much.
Rowan's gonna kind of like grab his neck, the nape, and just kind of like a little hug. Rowan's a little emotional too. He's gonna kind of like.
It's nothing stronger than family.
Briar's going to fish in her bag and pull out like the little carved thing of Siora and Tambrin and just look at her dad. Dad. I don't really deal with the emotion well, and neither does she, but don't want to make her cry more, but he kept this, and she's just gonna get teary-eyed. And I don't want to be sad. I want to celebrate with all of you. But it's kind of starting to hit me a little bit again.
You're handing this to your father?
Yeah. Can you give this to Muir? I don't think I can. I can't see her cry like that.
You see her kind of pacing, and she kind of stops and kind of facing away from you at this point, processing. And she turns back around. And she sees this interaction with your father, and she kind of walks over. What's that?
I assume she's already like her dad's hand. It's going in there. She's like, "Well, I really didn't want to make
Aurel
you
just
cry."
kind of just shakes his head. It's okay.
Eh,
Sometimes pain is part of the process of healing. Sometimes
She's
it's good to feel.
Gonna unturn her hand with the miniature of her and Tambrin, and I really didn't want to make you cry because you're a very strong woman. And I love you very much, and it hurts me to see you hurt. I love you, Leah. I'm so sorry.
She takes it.
And she's just gonna wrap her arms around her mom and just like really hug as tight as she can, like trying to break bones, just like trying to emotionally keep herself and her mom together. And
She squeezes back and kind of leans in. Crying isn't weakness. I know I don't always show it or tell you as often as you deserve, but I love you. And you never know how many opportunities you'll have to tell somebody that, so I will do that from now on.
And she's gonna look up at her mom and kiss her on the cheek and be like, I love you too, old woman.
Kind of lets go and once again kind of turns away and looks at the little carving of her and her brother. And back at Tambrin. Let's celebrate. Korea kind of chippers up a little bit and heads back to kind of the bar and starts pouring some drinks and clears off a table for the party. Brings some together so everybody can sit this large group.
Coria, do you mind snagging those letters whenever you get the chance? Please.
I'll get right on that.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, Da? She's gonna walk over and get her voice really low and like stick her mouth like basically in his ear. Da, listen. How long have you been here? When did we get here?
It's just been a couple of days.
Are there any performers here? Any?
Performers?
Yeah, like a bird. A bird.
Not that I've seen.
Okay. Okay. Alright.
Why?
Yeah, I'm going to tell you a story later about a person I would like your help taking care of. Perhaps you'll want to trust me.
I already do.
She's just gonna tip his chin.
He's gonna tip yours back. All right. Korea comes by and she gives you actually 3 letters. Surprise, Pikachu! I will send them to you in order.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, wow.
It's the Rowan fan club. Right back. Oh, my
Here's
hero.
one.
After Asher and Briar are done talking with their families, Ace would like to walk up to them, like almost crying, and be like, "Your guys' reunion with your family was beautiful, and I just love your family." And
Will, Ace, my parents have already adopted Kevron. So, just so you know, de facto, you are all now their children. My dad, total badass. My mom, total hard ass, still a badass.
You're gonna see Rowan like eagerly opening up his letters and just reading.
You see,
Asher's gonna turn over to Ace
ahead.
and be like, well, before you consider being adopted, think long and hard about that.
You see as Korea kind of pulls up a table or a chair for herself, and she kind of motions over to one of the other workers, a woman, and she's like, "Zagya, do you mind covering for the rest of the day so that I can spend time with my family?" And interestingly enough, this woman, kind of a unique heritage that rare to see away from their home. And of all people to know, that would be Kuran. Because she does seem to be of Moon Lake elf descent. And she kind of course. And she kind of tries to make herself small as she looks at Kuran. And it scurries away.
I'll kind of follow her, like just visually follow her as she leaves. With a
Yeah, you
turn
see,
back to the rest of
you
the
see midway through your following her that she kind of glances at you as well to see if you're watching. And she kind of...
And then yeah, I'll just return back to the group. That's all.
Still want to share your letter with the class, Allie?
Still working on it. However, there's a package, like an actual package, right?
Yes, there's a package as well, sorry. Yep.
Okay.
Actually, 2 packages.
2 packages. Okay. So, this is a lot more. I only got 1 letter, Holston, so I just want to let you know that. But
I was just letting you read them one at a time.
yeah, okay, that was already 1. All right, Rowan's going
Ready for the
to
next one?
yeah, Rowan's gonna pull the packages and open them together, and he's gonna get really excited. And he's gonna start kind of counting and putting them aside. Here, my mom actually made some elvish bread for all of us to kind of travel with. She calls them Aelos bread. Here, and Rowan's gonna pass 5 pieces to everyone. You don't need to eat a whole lot of them. Those will fill you up for a good time. So that's probably like half will get you through a whole day.
You said Ailman bread?
Ailman.
Well, it makes sense. You said your mother was a wood elf. Familiar with the recipe? I'll gesture to the other wood elves.
So, you can encourage, yeah. So enjoy. And she says, she hopes that you enjoy, and she's excited to kind of see you guys whenever we head up there. Not gonna lie, I kind of want to get up there as soon as possible, but it can wait.
Do you want to open the other package?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead.
Or do you want to read the letters?
I'm gonna read the second letter and
Okay.
I'll go over that.
You don't want to
One at a time.
read it to the class?
Which one could I read out loud?
You can read whatever you want out loud. It's up to Rowan though. What Rowan would share.
That's tough. All right. Well, is everybody kind of done talking and spend time with their family? Okay.
I'm sure there'll be a
Families
little bit going on
overrated.
here
We're
and there.
hanging out
Yeah.
now.
So,
we want the juice from Rowan.
yeah. All right. Well, my mom is very happy to hear that I'm alive. It's been about 6 months since she last heard from me. So, but the reason why I'm not home and Jethro kind of plucked me out of Herodine was because I kind of got into a fight with the head nobleman's son and his friends. I was participating in an event. I don't know what happened. I kind of was ahead, but he came up on top, but everybody kind of just looked at me as the true winner. I don't know what happened, but I did come out with this, and Rowan's going to point to his scar on his eye. That's all I remember. But it looks like his son might be taking his father's spot. His he fell ill about 4 months ago, and he's not looking too well. I would never wish literal ill on anyone, but it looks like I could probably go back home at some point. That's why I haven't gone back. In fear that there'd be consequences, since I am an elf in a human predominant city. Has anybody heard of a circle? Like a grouping called like a circle or anything? It might be just a Herondine thing. I don't know if that's like a noble thing in every city.
Are you talking about like a collective of
Yeah, like
people?
nobles. Like nobles, do they call themselves a circle, or is that just a Herondine thing?
I mean, I'm sure it could be utilized just to say a group. It's not where I'm from. It's not at all like where I'm from, but perhaps another human civilizations.
I know
From-
druids use that term from time to time.
Okay, well, I did get an additional letter. And Rowan's gonna kind of ruffle through, and he's gonna kind of hide the one that's from Evelyn, and he's gonna set it aside.
Who's Evelyn?
Briar's just gonna be like, I told you so.
Yeah, she kind of beat me to the punch on that one, but let's see. It says, to the man who bested me in both love and in combat, and who now has my utmost trust, or utmost respect. First, let me be known that when I returned to take my father's place and discovered the courier interception program he had been conducting on your family's business, I was very disappointed. For sake of honesty, I must admit that I did read through some of the copies, including these last received and sent out now. Again, I apologize for the intrusion, but I could think of no other way to extend my offering of peace and civility between us. I assure you, I will be ending this program immediately following the release of this package. Therefore, if you would like to contact me further, please do directly to my home. And he kind of goes into he's kind of apologizing about that fight that I just told you guys. He's giving me that win. Wow. And he said he sent a package. Is there an additional package?
Yeah, it's the second package.
Okay,
The second package is. Are you opening it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and open it.
Yeah. When you open it, there's a good amount of gold in it. So go ahead and add 500 gold to your inventory.
Whoa.
Even if it's not genuine, he's certainly trying to buy your forgiveness.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to put behind me. But I forgive him, but I hope I'm not being swayed. No, another way. Then, but I'll take it. I always want to say this. I'll buy around.
Rowan, I believe, Corey, is there any classes on like money management we could enroll this boy in?
First of all, there would be no need to purchase this. This is on the house.
Oh wow.
Perks of family.
Yeah. But I am
That's
curious
strong.
if to see. Not anytime soon, of course. We got things we need to handle, but I'd be curious to see if his words are true. Even after the letters. But
If you would like, you're all still in your debt for everything that you've done. I'm gonna kind of look over to Corey and be like, kind of put my hand on hers and be like, if you would like us to accompany you,
She
it's the
squeezes
least
your
we can
hand,
do.
Mhm.
like, hard.
Rowan's gonna kind of ruffle back to his letter from his mom. It kind of seems like my whole family kind of want to meet you guys already.
Well, we all set out on this journey together for the most part. No one ever said that it would be long or short.
I don't think they're in a hurry to see me. I think hold out a little bit longer. Corey, do you have any extra paper and ink and quill that I could
Sure,
borrow?
absolutely. She motions over the moonlike elf lady. She comes over, kind of. Yeah. Could you grab a quill and some paper for a friend, Rowan? Yeah, absolutely. Anything else anybody needs?
Can I take a perception check on that Moonlake elf?
I want to make an inspection on her too, see if there's anything.
I want to know
Yeah,
if she's
he
hot.
does.
You want to know if she's hot? Oh wait, hold on. Let me put her up. You can decide for yourself. She's on screen.
And I like the hair.
It's up to
but,
you to decide that.
that's-
Yeah,
She does.
yeah.
She definitely has really long hair. Her outfit, though, she's definitely in work clothes currently.
Well, she certainly isn't wearing any conclave garments like myself. So,
And
but yeah,
I would say easy enough without any kind of insight or perception. You can tell that she is a little bit nervous around you, or hiding somewhat, or something like trying not to be seen.
reserved a bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's reserved.
I mean, I'm not going to make any action on it right now. It's a bit awkward.
She kind of is sitting or standing over top of you, asking, "Anything I can get for anybody else?"
No, but you're gonna see kind of Rowan just kind of fall back in his chair a little bit and then kind of covers his mouth.
Ale, please, the strongest that you've got.
Absolutely.
Do you have any good recommendations on wine? I'm just treating her normally, by the way, just addressing I'm not even bringing up the obvious
she's
right
not.
now.
She's not.
I know.
She's uncomfortable. She's
Ace is gonna lean to Briar and be like, "Is today the day?"
Today is definitely the day.
Your
I'm-
strongest wine as well for my friend here.
that would be moon wine. Would you like some moon wine? What's your name?
Karan, and yours, and I'll hold my hand out to.
She reaches out, grabs your hand. Zagya. I will write that in chat.
Oh, good. I was about to write it down.
I'm like, I'm gonna guess how that's spelled. A pleasure. It's not often I meet a fellow.
Yes. I would really like to perhaps, I don't know, talk in private maybe. It's not often you run into our kind.
Well, you're certainly more than welcome, unless opposition comes from Korea here to join us. But of course, we can speak later. I'd be delighted.
So hearing that Briar's not going to do what she was going to do, she's going to look at her dad and be like, "You, I'm going to drink you under the table. You come here. Come here.
Oh,
I challenge you."
Asher's gonna lean over to
my
Rowan because
sweet prickly thorn.
he remembered that Rowan got excited about speaking Elvish and being like, "Well, Korea, Rowan over here has had not much of a chance to meet other half elves such as himself."
It's a pleasure to meet you, Ron. I hope you enjoyed your letters.
Yeah, it's I don't feel as lonely, I guess. seeing your reunion, but it's nice. Thinking about it more makes me want to go home, but we got things we need to do. But it's nice meeting you. And then Rowan's just gonna say in Elvish, "Your husband is awesome." And then to Coria.
You have no idea. What's your response in Elvish?
He's gonna smirk. He's actually gonna take a little nibble of that bread.
It is delicious. It's like a really like melt in your mouth sourdough. Oddly, but somehow still keeps. So like, yeah. It's like just the right amount of herb to it too. It's
Not only did my mom make this, but Evelyn did too. So, enjoy the love from my family to yours.
Karun, do you have family?
In a way, all Nerine are family. Really, it's kind of an interesting story to get into. Plus, I was taken into the conclave, so to say explicitly whether I had a mother or father is not something that I would share, but I had a very large family that nurtured me, trained me, taught me, introduced me to what I am today.
It's good to know. Always wondered.
You always have to find a family of sorts. It's amazing the wonders that can work.
It's times kind of like these that I wish I had a location to send This is the problem when you're always on the run. You got to push away your loved ones. I hope to find them, honestly.
If your loved ones are your loved ones, then no matter where or how far you may have to run, they're still there, and they're always with you.
Yeah.
We'll find
family
them,
always
Ace.
finds a way. Warrior speaks up. Family always finds a way.
We'll find them. I do have a small problem, though. I need to probably try to grab Jathril and bring him up with us.
That man sounds like he'll be busy for quite some time.
And we still have some work with him. Correct, Rowan?
Yeah. Once ever we're done, everything over here, he wants us to meet him.
Take out them sons of bitches that killed me.
Yeah.
Well, that's a... Fuck. I was gonna turn to Corey and be like, well, we have a lot to talk about later. In private, hopefully.
Yes, I think we do.
Well,
In the meantime, drinks.
yes. Rowan's gonna drink his ale in front of him.
Oh yeah, Ace is drinking heavy.
Zagia comes back with not only the paper and quill, but also a nice, it's an interestingly blue wine. Yes, that is moon wine. Not to be confused with moonshine, but maybe just as powerful.
Kind of get the bouquet from it. I imagine it is stingingly potent or something along those lines.
It's dangerous because it's not.
Well, Karan has mastered the art of the nurse, so he will.
Mastered the art
Facts.
of the nurse.
We go
I'm gonna-
drinking quite a bit.
I'm gonna go over to Coria and be like, well, if anybody can convince someone with a stick up their ass to drink heavily, and I'm gonna kind of nudge her a little bit and then look over at Karan.
You're nudging
Is this
Briar, you said?
No, I'm nudging Coria because
If anybody can convince.
What, you gonna get your wife to drug me? What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna get my wife to convince you to get completely hammered.
Oh. My resistance is being charmed.
Don't have resistance to charm, though.
Being charmed with hospitality.
That's a form of charming.
Karan, what would one time just letting go? What would it hurt?
It's not so much that it's a reservation of letting go. It's a maintaining of my not disposition, my constitution. I don't fare too well if I drink beyond my capacities, and it's
How do
certainly
you
not
know?
in a fun way.
Have you tried?
Well, I don't know if this is the same brew process, and I'll look over to Zacia. But I'm not unfamiliar with wine of this secret potency. It didn't end well. And this was within the confines of the Conclave, where they could very readily treat me.
They party hard on the conclave. No, they don't. Imagine just sipping wine all day and playing music. Just
pretty much
nursing. Just nursing it.
Yep, but that's the thing. When you are not familiar, when you've only had the fledgling wines and you step into the more holy of proper brews, then, get a little too much too quickly.
So, my sweet prickly thorn,
Yes, old man.
tell me a story.
Okay, I got a story for you. We've got this. I've saved just a little bit for you because this is going to take you full send under the table. And she's going to pull out. Okay, so you see this guy over here with the weird eyes. This is Ace. This is my flaming feasting brother. And the jungle drum. Okay.
You brought some.
We brought it. I know mom brought it at one time and then you ended up like naked all over. But might happen again, might be funny. We could go piece off some town guards perhaps.
I think we should try it right now.
Right now then.
We want the good stuff, the jungle rum. You can't beat it.
Can't beat it. Screw grog. Let's just the jungle drum. So she's gonna tell him about like the temple and how like everybody was going about. Indeed, there was a organ. It was a Caron. What was it? It was a heart. Yes, it was a heart.
Yes, it was vile.
I looked at the heart and it was scared of me and it just flew. It flew across the room very far. Because I just like stared it down and I was like...
Yes, you used your magic. I get it. Yes.
Yeah. Well, and then there was the snake and Ace. He looked at it and it died. He just looked at it and it died.
Yes, the snake. You should have seen your daughter. I was grappled. Both of my hands. I could not move them. and the snake, its face and its mouth widening as it was about to bite me. And your daughter, I'd never seen strength come out of such a little woman, and she punched it with one fist, and its head exploded and crushed, saving me,
The story
allowing me
develops.
to escape.
The story develops. These just get more and more preposterous. She grabbed it by the tooth and threw it into a tree. Yeah. Straight.
But unfortunately, it was also a lot of meat wasted. I forgot about it in my bag and kind of stink really bad.
Rotten snake.
Oh, huge mistake. But you know, nothing really wants to attack you when you smell that bad.
I know a couple beasts.
Really? Like what?
Well, I'm sure you might run across them in your travels. If you keep this up, what do you think of your first adventure?
Hey, Dad. Okay, you remember when I first got my magic and I got totally addicted? It's very much like that. I am hooked. Super hooked.
Oh no. You're never coming home again, are you?
No, well, of course I'm coming home, but I think I'm going to be more of a nomad, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
As long
I
as they'll
figure as
teach
much.
me. Yeah.
Well, I guess you'll have to ask your mother. You see
She's
Ciora.
Mujer. Listen. I know Dad is trying to make you the bad guy because he doesn't want me to go. You, Mujer, you are a badass. I know this. And I know you want me to be safe, but you are very strong and you raised me to be strong. Look, I killed a snake. It was amazing. I want to keep doing this.
My only concern is that you let the snake get close enough to almost eat your friend's face off. That's not funny.
Okay. Oh, but to be fair, I was also talking to a tree at the time asking if we could cut it down. Getting permission, I was a little distracted.
Distracted.
Oh,
Distracted is how you die.
well, we can't all have like 60 eyes behind our head. I mean, I know you see everything, trust me.
I'm not saying that I see everything, but I pay attention.
She's just gonna wilt a little bit.
I know you like to have fun, but everything can't be fun.
Mm.
Because sometime you will be having fun, and then somebody will get really hurt. And then it won't be funny anymore.
Ma'am, if I may interject, but Briar's a literal fire on the battlefield. I wouldn't want anybody to cross her path.
Don't mention fire.
A fire?
Strong, like, and powerful on the battlefield. She's fought next to me. She's strong.
She's just wide-eyed, staring at Asher like.
I can attest she does not let things get close to her in combat. She is more than capable of handling herself. She has
Very
kept all of us safe.
Yeah.
Ciora, I know.
Go ahead, Karan.
Ciara, I know that I'm in no position to question your wisdom or experience. Certainly not your experience. But she won't be able to grow the eyes in the back of her head unless she evolves them. And I, having seen it myself and traveled with her, with your permission, she has the potential. I know you're worried, as any mother should be. but I don't think you need to worry as much as you do.
I know that experience is a great teacher, but there are some experiences that you try to avoid and you learn before you encounter that. And I don't want her not only to get hurt, but I don't want other people to get hurt and then her to feel responsible for that and carry that on her conscience like I have my whole life.
She's gonna nod.
Briar's gonna get up and go sit over by her mom. Hey, everything you went through made you the person you are today, yes? You are a magnificent person, Muya. Even if you feel like at times you carry these weights. You and I, both with your gimmicks and your seriousness, I got the best of both worlds from you. I know not everything can be all happy, but I'm nervous. And when I'm nervous, more jokes just vomit out of my mouth and I can't stop it. But I do my best. And I think it'll be okay. And if it's not, I have a lot of people to talk to and help me through it. I can write to you, I can come home and get guidance from both of you. All of these people have lived such amazing lives or are just starting, and we need each other. At the end of the day, you can't take it on alone. You need people to grow and
I don't mean to speak up or anything. No, you don't know me very well. My name is Dominicus. But I see Briar as a sister. I just want you to know that I would give my life for her.
Oh. Literally dead. Oh, don't let her fool you. She's... The trick with Siora, is that you have to know how to make her laugh. Even just the smile. It lights up my whole day. And she just kind of... I know how to get it out of her, too. And kind of moseys up all macho.
what's going bad?
Obviously, like, he's putting on, like, big time, like basically, he's walking out like Woody when he walks out in his in Toy Story. He just gives her a look. She just kind of stares ahead. And looks at him.
You guys, my dad is very soft, but seeing it this close.
She's just rough around crowds, but it's just her and I. And she slaps him a little bit. Stop. I'm just saying. Korea squeezes Asher's hand.
God, I miss my family, and I'm just gonna drink like this ale, super like heavy, like chugging this whole thing.
Wholesome. Rowan, as this is kind of going on, he's gonna kind of go back to the letter that he received from Jazir. What military is based out of Trevane?
What military?
Mm-hmm. Like specifically. Does Rowan, would Rowan know?
It would be
from
a
being
branch.
there once?
It would be a branch of the King's army.
Okay.
There's Let me look at this. I don't want to give you wrong information.
It's like a regimental detachment or something.
It's one of the, like, okay, it would be like, I don't know, actual military stuff, but it would be like a top military school, basically. And that's where it is. It just happens to be in Trevane. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. I was just curious.
The one that's for the less elite or less like, so that one would be for like raising officers and like leaders and nobles and stuff like that. Not all of them, but like they have some regular infantry and stuff there too. But Westwatch would be the general infantry and boot camps and stuff like that, where it's kind of on the front line between Zehath and Esmond. Obviously, they have them in other places too. Like even Lake Grasp itself has its own barracks and training grounds and stuff.
Well, that fits. Since he is taking his father's place. Maybe he has changed. Rowan's just gonna be kind of talking to himself at the table. A little taken back that he got 500 freaking pieces of gold. Jesus Christ.
That is the biggest haul the party has had so far. That's probably more gold than the party has had ever. Total.
Yeah, I mean, now we actually legitimately could buy like a used cruddy boat.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, well, we can pay off the boat and Balin it.
Well, also,
Pay back Balin's
Port part, so it's fully ours.
Also, we could get like the expensive components
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're gonna need some
for
very expensive
identify
diamonds
and
for-
like diamonds
Yeah.
for
Briar's
dead people.
our money.
I'll have to talk to you after this episode because I have an idea of what Rowan would do first thing with this money.
Okay.
But we'll have to talk about it.
What time is it in the day, Wilson?
We're approaching evening now, probably just between the greetings and stuff, because you guys arrived about late midday, I think. So you're approaching evening by this point.
So probably if we were wanting to do shopping or look around the city, would be better to sleep and then do it tomorrow. Yes.
Yeah,
it's
places
tomorrow.
are probably closing up.
We could
by
make
now.
like one shop each, but we couldn't like go to multiple shops as we split up.
Here. Dad? They've been drinking for a bit by now, right?
Yeah.
Hey. Dad. So, what if you and I sneak away and go into like the fancy pants part of the city and just rob them all?
Yeah, that would be just great. Let's-
Liz?
Are you guys being discreet about this at all? Or are you just like talking across
We're
the
That's
table?
kind of
drunk.
what he's implying. It's that she's yeah, let's just say it out in the open. Yes, I see no problem. Let's just do it right now. Let's tell
Let's
everyone
do
that we're
it.
gonna do it too.
There's probably another tavern over there. We can totally make our way.
Unfortunately, they closed off the upper district. The rings.
No.
Yes, since the stuff going on in the fingers, they're worried that it will make its way into hands and all that. So, unfortunately, they have absolutely no access. Well,
Ugh.
unless you know
Kellogg.
ways.
Oh,
Yeah, what-
you
what
know
I've been here
it.
for 2 days. You think I don't know ways?
You know.
I do. Well, I've looked at some. I haven't gone myself, but I like to know all of the entrances and exits of a city I'm in. You know me.
Oh yeah, you already shadowed that. You.
What's been going on with all the sick in the city as well, by the way?
I don't know.
Yes.
It
Concern
was.
myself.
I mean, we got here 3 days ago, and so it was probably about 2 days ago that the first ones started to get all sick. I guess that is what they've determined, but I don't know how long, sometimes these things you don't know how long they've been sick and before they start to show that they are sick. So this could have been weeks that this was here.
Was there an originating sufferer, a patient zero, if you will?
Not that I know of. We've been here most of our time. I'm not sure. Is it worse? What are the symptoms?
The lower district seems to be flooded with them. You can't walk within 5 feet without seeing somebody with some sort of symptoms.
Really?
And if Kid could run with his medicine, make a base determination saying that the progression seems likely to be death in all cases, or at least there's a good chance.
You could tell that it looks pretty dangerous. I mean, coughing up blood and then coughing up some black ichor. It's kind of intense. But you don't know that anybody specifically died from it.
Yeah.
Yet.
I don't know what type of fatalities may have already occurred, if any, but prognosis certainly does not look good. The symptoms are awful. Expecting blood and vile ichors.
That is terrible. These things that happen are just crazy. You never know. It seems like it is always something.
Rowan's gonna kind of clean up his letters and kind of fold them neatly, and he puts them in his chest plate. Excuse me, RL.
Yes.
I've never fought an elf before. Maybe tomorrow.
I know, because you're alive.
Yeah, he did. You could totally take him. You could totally do it then.
I think it'd be fun to see what I can learn from you and your style.
I can teach you a thing or two.
Ace is gonna continue to drink heavily and then slam it down and be like, I'll take some of that action as well.
I'm gonna look over at him and be like, well, just a fair warning between family. I have seen him completely kill a dire wolf in like no time flat.
Not a
true?
problem.
Well, direwolf is big and slow. You have to see me and hit me. Good luck.
He called you big and slow. Point.
Briar's gonna kick Ace under the table. Oh, you should also
Ow.
try fighting my mom. My mujer, she is. Oh, I mean, if she wasn't my mother.
I think if she's up for it too, I wouldn't say no. I just want to. I want to learn. I want to actually learn to fight.
Do you want to? Brimstone Brothers against Briar's parents?
That wouldn't be fair. How about 1-on-2? I'll take you. Both.
Rowan's just gonna glow. He's gonna get excited.
If you want to be brothers, you have to fight like brothers, and I will teach you.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir. Excited for more.
While you were doing that, Karan, would you like to come with me tomorrow and investigate the lower district?
Absolutely. In fact, do you know, or Coria, perhaps you know, is there a place that they may have set up to look into this? I don't know what facilities or institutions Lake Rasp has.
I saw them approach in the Hans district. They approach a shopkeep. His name is Amansar Alchemia. He owns that store. It is an alchemy store. I saw them approach him and talking with him. I'll write that in chat for you guys. Amansar Alchemia.
Alchemia.
Amansar Alchemia. And I saw them discussing something with him, and looked like they had some kind of disagreement, and I don't know if he or they barred his doors and closed up his store. I don't know if what happened there, but they look like they were, I don't know, some kind of argument that they had.
So, this Amansar was looking into this. That I just understand. And there was a disagreement with. And they bought him.
I don't know which way it was, to be honest. Perhaps, I don't know if they were asking for him to go look for a cure, or if perhaps he was trying to get them to listen. But all I know is that when I came back, that he had planks over his door, which is very odd for Hans District. It looks pretty bad.
Oh, I'll look over to Asher and say, well, that seems to be the place to start. But yes, I'd very much like to get to the bottom of this, especially before it spreads into the greater district surrounding. Or outside of Lay's grasp, for that matter.
I think they're... I mean, did they check you before you came in? I think they're checking everybody before they come in, so we should be okay here, but I do feel terrible for the ones suffering outside the walls. Seems like a
Indeed.
terrible disease.
But I've also heard of things that can travel and infect before they show their symptoms. And the gods seem to have just simply checked us for symptoms. But honestly, it didn't seem like they had much really to do aside from to look to see if someone appeared ill. It's a risk I'd like to put to bed. Be certain if I can.
It would be terrible if it started in the Hans district as well. We don't even know.
Indeed.
It has only just begun. We don't even know if it is fatal.
So I think that should be the first thing that we do tomorrow, Asha. Let's look into this.
And if you guys need any help with anything after the fighting done, you let us know. Be by your sides.
Well,
Rowan's
I
gonna
think-
nod his head.
I think
Hopefully.
it might be the safest for you guys to stay here.
If I am not needed, will you maybe perhaps collect some in a vial and I can study it? Maybe?
I'm sure, yes, I can come up
Yeah.
with a sample for you. And I agree with you, Asha. No offense. We, for one, hope that we don't come to blows with anyone in our pursuit to cure the sick. But I couldn't live if either of you, if anyone got infected. At least Asha and myself are trained, if you will, on how to deal with this. Somewhat.
Well, Briar, I figured you and Korea could get into your regularly scheduled chaos.
I was actually thinking the same thing. Korea, I don't know your situation with work, but I mean, it's been a while. And if that is going to be kicking the ass of Ron and Ace, then
Shenanigans?
shenanigans.
Well, I mean, technically, I'm not a employee. I've only just been helping because I've been here visiting. So, I mean, I don't want to put anybody in trouble or anything. I don't want to make things harder. But I'm sure I could find some time. It's been a while since I've had a bit of fun.
We'll stretch your legs really well.
It's been a while. I might be a little bit rusty.
Asher's gonna look over, kind of like,
can I lean into Arel and say something discreetly to him?
Sure.
Can I pass my duty of looking after your daughter back on to you for a moment?
I'm not going to watch her.
Fair
Take
enough.
care of herself. What do you think?
Honestly, yes, she's quite capable, regardless of your wife's apprehensions.
She knows.
Also, too.
She's just hard on her.
Parents have to be from time to time so that their offspring can grow up to be the best that they can, the most capable they can. Also, I would like to discuss something with you in private at some point.
Absolutely. How about now? Listen,
Certainly.
why wait with secrets? He dismounts the chair and heads to a corner.
Okay, I guess I will just
He's the best.
get up and over to him.
And secrets are literally his job. So
Yeah, he's the thing.
I just figured the approach of the conversation would have been more than like a get up and walk over to the corner. Right.
he leans
What
against
else,
the wall
dear? You're
in the
dealing
corner.
with what else?
Okay. I'll be back in a moment. Does anyone even really care or inquire as to why I'm getting up to go talk to him?
Talking.
Perfect. All right. I'll go over there and I'll talk to him discreetly.
Zakia, another ale, please. This one's almost empty.
You see her, she comes back and just brings you two.
Asher's gonna like
Double-fisted.
subtly slip him. She's gonna subtly like slip her like 2 gold.
Thank you,
Ron's gonna be nursing on his ale. And he's gonna turn to her and say thank you. Kind of like showing that he's still good.
All right, Karan.
Errol, since the time that we've departed till now, have you heard, or what have you heard, of my people?
Quiet as usual. They like to keep
Perhaps-
to themselves and mind their business.
They do, but perhaps there is something you should keep in mind. When we went to the Kelpie Isle, we encountered, and I know I needn't ask, but keep this as discreet as possible.
Some of your kind, yes.
Yes, and they were acting as the transgressors, as aggressors. They are compelled by some power that I do not yet understand, and compelled in ways that, honestly, I couldn't fathom initially. Unfortunately, Tamburin's current situation is a direct result of what they committed upon him. And I'll kind of look around to see if anyone's paying attention to us as we talk.
Doesn't seem to be.
I don't know if you noticed, but I know you pay attention to detail. My phylactery, and I'll show him. Do you notice anything different about it? At first glance.
It looks more shiny.
Indeed. Almost clearer.
Yes. I mean, it was brilliant before, but this looks... What, did you change out the water?
In a way, you could say that, yes. As I'm going to open my bag and I'm going to reach first for the glove that I was allowed to
Calandra?
take. Yes. And after donning the glove, I'm going to go for the crystal where at least is stored the other one and show it to him. Not take it out of the bag, not really handle it too much, but just show him the other crystal I have. The old one looked a lot like this in terms of color, right?
Right.
I'm not sure the connection. But there is some maleficent power that is being channeled into, through, by, I'm not sure. But these crystals have a connection to something that is motivating people of my bloodline, my kin, to do terrible acts in its name, whatever it is. And I couldn't be further from grasping at an answer as to what it might be. But I do know that this must be the mission that I was sent forth for. This is why I am out in the world. This is why I left the conclave in my home. And I fear that this could be far more impactful than just upon my own people. It's only right that you know and not find out, especially because I promised I'd take care of your daughter, and not being upfront about this would be disingenuous to that promise.
So you've heard this too? The voice. Is it
I
you've
have.
heard what the others have heard? That corrupts them?
Indeed. No more, fortunately, from mine. But there's still echoes that I can feel emanating from this one. And I'll gesture to the bag that I've now, closed, and I'll put the glove back into it as I'm closing it.
It definitely does have still a bit of a draw, a presence to it that your phylactery used to have before it was cleansed. Has that, but you can feel it being deflected by wearing the glove, but even gazing at it is a little disconcerting and does have a bit of that feel, that tug.
I can feel it. I don't know how sensitive, or if you are even sensitive, or just have heard of others. And I'll kind of do a quick glance over to
I was gonna say, do it.
Zakia.
You do notice at that point that as you look, she looks away because she was looking at you.
Okay.
And she looks away and kind of almost like feigning, like, oh, I'm just cleaning.
I'll kind of
he notices you yeah.
look back, but yeah, it needs to be cleansed. I know the process roughly, but it requires materials. But this is just for here and now. This crystal didn't come from my territory, didn't come from the Moon Lake. This was found on Calliope, in a small little village. They could be, for all I know, dotted all across Talvernia. And it may only take one to find its way into the wrong hands. To do God knows what. But I can confirm there are ways. I just don't know to the scope or scale yet.
How did you cleanse it?
There was a priestess at the temple that discovered a ritual. She did research, and she came across an old tale, and I'll pull out the book and show the little blurb that I transcribed. she came across this and a ritual of purification that was in another tome. We performed it, the chalice, and it worked. And I immediately felt this dark energy leave, this subtle grip that had always been in my mind released itself. But almost immediately after the cleansing process, the waters that took the taint from my phylactery coalesced in a blood-like substance, a form of portal that grabbed at this chalice and destroyed it before it disappeared.
Was a physical hand?
Physical, ethereal. I can tell that it was demonic looking, clawed, large, hopefully disproportionate to whatever its true source was, but I can't say for certain.
That is all beyond my knowledge of understanding. I do not know these kind of things. But it doesn't feel good. It feels dangerous. Like a larger power.
Indeed. And
I see him kind of buckle up his sword, kind of shift it. That's always fun to deal with.
not exactly the fun I prefer to seek.
No,
But
me either.
the reason why I come to you is not in hopes of understanding or clarification. I trust that you can be discreet with this, but also outreaching. I hope that if there's anything you can garner from this, it helps to get us to a resolution. I honestly couldn't think of anyone better to deal with this, considering how delicate it has to be handled.
I suppose maybe I could take a vacation. Wouldn't be the first time I've gone to the Moonlake Well.
Thank you. I wish I could go myself, but obviously we are party committed now. But if there's anything that you could find, I'm sure it would be enlightening. If there's information I can garner from them. I don't know the best
Information.
way to communicate.
Information I can garner. It's my specialty.
Thank you, RL. But God, I can't believe I'm saying this. If there's something that seems off, if you get there, prioritize your well-being. I know that. I wouldn't want to have to explain to your daughter if something happened. But I honestly don't know if I can even completely trust with 100% certainty everything the Conclave has professed to me.
I will do some surveillance first. I learned many tricks from... Well, we kind of taught each other. An old friend I had. Traveled the world a lot. But I garnered a lot of secrets from him. I can stay hidden and use some of the tips that he gave me for exploring the Moonlake Will. And, well, if I need to not be seen, I won't be seen. I will play it by ear and eye.
Thank you. You're
Of
more than a
course.
friend.
I am very appreciative of you. You take care of my daughter. I know
I
you
do
have
whatever I can.
a good spirit about you.
That's more reassuring than you might believe to hear. Thank you.
Listen, anybody could be corrupt by magic. And if anybody can hold it off, it would be someone like you. I know this.
Well, I think we've said enough on this matter tonight. Shall we return to family and friends?
Well, I think you have a new friend. He kind of glances over. He kind of just does like an eye shift. And then he starts to walk as you turn and you see Zagya kind of partway peeking through a door and then shuts the door. You see him as he kind of walks away, hand on katana-like sword. He kind of looks at you.
I'll transition over to that, but I'm sure there's other people that have things they'd like to do.
Anybody else?
Ace, as he's drinking, is going to lay the mug down and he's going to look over at Briar and kind of whisper to it. Your father seemed like he knew of Jungle Room. How did he know about that?
Because I was stupid and I brought it to him, Ciora says. And,
Yeah. You know of the people on that island?
yes, I lived there for a while. Cameron
So
and I.
you've met Midian
I have.
and Mordecai, my uncle and my grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Good friends of mine.
Did you ever meet my father?
Who's your father?
Malachi?
Oh, the other one. I did.
Please tell me you have embarrassing stories. He's always so serious. I could never get him to laugh about any.
Well. Speaking of snakes. Well, not like that. Stop. He thought he could take one of those giant constrictor snakes on himself once when he was just a pup. And he took care of it. But it broke his right arm. I don't know if he ever told you that, but he was trying to choke a snake, which a little hard to do. It's kind of their thing to do,
Yeah.
you know. He gave up that after it broke his arm, and then he used a rock to smash its head. And I don't know how embarrassing that is. I'm not really the storyteller. She
That's
kind of looks
okay.
at RL. It's more his thing.
There's a lot of training. Growing up, I didn't get to hear many memories, and my time on. One second. It's, Calliope.
Calliope?
Calliope. My time on Calliope was pretty quick, and I didn't get to talk much. So anytime I get to hear stories, I enjoy them. Thank you for that.
They're good people. For you to be raised by any of them, you're in good hands. It's also reassuring. Telvernia is small sometimes. All these different connections that we have. Places we've been and seen at different times, and paths crossing and paths not crossing. It is interesting. She kind of plucks a flower and eats tambourine.
Briar's gonna lean over to her mom and like a kid would just tug on her little shoulder. Like, oh yeah. Now that I've been thinking, I would probably maybe need to have a conversation tonight with you, and yeah, there are things that we encountered that deeply troubled me so, and I know the two of you are good at many things, and I think we're going to have to help a lot of people, not just us. And she's gonna look at everyone there, but I think the entire side of the world we are on.
Asher's gonna kind of look over at Briar saying this, and then kind of look at Coria, like squeeze her hand, like she was doing earlier, and be like, "I was gonna ask later, but
Do you want to be in on that conversation? Do you want to join me for that, maybe?
I think it would
Yes,
be
I
best."
think it could be very insightful. And she kind of looks at
Privately.
Asher.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, Korea, but it is bad. Very bad. Just like in
She
her
kind of
stupor.
twirls the ring, the amulet. I didn't hear any of that.
Well, it's a story for more private times. We'll talk after this. She's gonna like kind of. Oh, my beer's gone.
I have nothing to hide behind.
Oh, it's empty.
Keep trying. Keep trying. Might get a drop.
That reminds me of Korea. You're from this Grasp, correct? You've been here a while, I'm guessing.
Been here for a while now. Several, it's probably over a month now.
We were on traveling here, and met a mother of the Temple of Light. She informed us that the Temple of Light is trying to take care of people with magic that is dangerous. Are they searching for people in the city, or has the plague been able to kind of hide that better, or should we be worried, or?
That was probably 2 weeks ago or something that I know that they put out different regulations, but I haven't seen them enforce it much. But I also haven't seen many people using magic. So I'm not sure how they're approaching that. They probably are very preoccupied now with everything going on with the fingers.
Rowan's gonna be mumbling to himself as he's writing 3 letters back. Kind of eagerly writing and sipping and eagerly writing.
Yep.
Inspired.
Believe we all have a long day tomorrow. Shall we? I'll kind of stand up and hold out a hand to Coria.
Yes, we shall. So we return to Karan. What are you doing?
I mean, pretty obvious that Zangia would like to have a conversation with me. So, I mean, I was going to follow up with that, but so long as no one's going to try to stop me, draw attention, find it weird. Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Rowan is
Walking
gonna
around
be
all over the
looking-
place, like doing. Why is he talking to these people? Oh, whatever. You guys are
Rowan-
hammered.
normal.
Yeah, we're just
Hammered
we're
conversations.
just drinking. Yeah, you
You're
guys
allowed
are
to
having a
have private
conversation.
conversations.
Yeah.
This is what it's like being like the one sober person at the party. You're going about doing things. People are oblivious to what you're doing. I'm like,
Rowan's writing letters, so he's kind of looking at letter, replying, looking at letter, replying, kind of a thing. So he's he's taken back.
Briar
This is
says-
all like a safe place. Like Asher sees this as a safe place, so he's like,
Yeah.
there's no need to be up in arms at all.
Right.
Other than the
just-
fact that his wife is about to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Briar wants to
In
talk
the
to her mom and
bed.
dad, so we leave. So
Cool. No.
you're good, homie.
Yeah.
Briar, you never said your parents were so awesome.
You've met me, yes? Should have put two and two together.
True that. What do they do for a living?
Oh, yeah. I don't give away all of my secrets. I am my father's daughter, after all.
If you can't trust your family, who can you trust? Come on. All right.
Drink
He's
some.
gonna start
Give me a
drinking
consti-
again.
By this point, give me a Constitution saving.
At that
Yeah.
point, Vin Diesel kicks in the door and cocks a shotgun. Nothing's stronger than family.
17.
17. You're feeling it, but you're like, I don't care. I'm gonna put power through it. And you
just
I could
belch
probably keep
and then go
going.
right back to-
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I'll approach her. That's all.
She went behind the door. She went kind of into the back room
Into the back room. Yeah, that
a little bit.
I shall pursue.
You open the door and she kind of surprisingly isn't really startled. Oops, wrong person.
I was gonna say.
Whoa.
Whoa! Hang on a second. That was
What the fuck is that?
Right.
Surprise!
Surprise, mother. That's a Monsar. Anyways,
Future.
Come with me. I want to show you something.
All
She
right.
kind of leads you kind of down this little hall and kind of this kind of rear exit that you would glean probably leads to the street.
I'm following her and
Okay.
just wait to get to where.
You kind of get to the end of the hall and stand next to her. She kind of stops for a second. And she turns and looks at you. And then she pulls out a knife and holds it to your throat as she presses you against the wall. And we're going to take a break.
He's
Who
fine.
would have solved that?
He's
That
fine.
Well, none of you weren't paying attention to me.
That escalated from like,
Wow.
He's literally just walking around like his head down. Nobody cares for you.
Do, 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 do.
We didn't think you were in danger. We're like, oh, there's another elf.
No,
here.
it's a safe place. Holson continues in the next 5 minutes by trying to shank us in an alleyway.
Jesus.
All right. We're going to take a 15, so we will be back at 8:23 p.m. Eastern Time.
Like, this inn is about to get a bad Yelp review from Karan, but like, even though it's a family-owned inn for Asher, he still doesn't really care. He's like,
Right.
justifiable bad Yelp review.
Yeah.
Karan's just like, how did you know this is how I like it?
The waitresses are a little intense. One threatened me with a knife.
It's like, harder.
We'll be back. Let's go ahead
Pros.
and say, in 15 minutes. We'll be back.
So, I'll wait for it to hit before I say what I want to say.
Say it to stream.
No.
Go ahead. Say it. No, go ahead. Say it to
Okay,
stream.
you remember when they said Tate and I almost broke you and we gave each other a look and I tried not to like.
Yes, I didn't even think about it until you started laughing, and then I couldn't laugh. It was literally a situation where you can't laugh, and then so I'm laughing because you're like, and I'm like,
I am Laura Bailey and was presented in ink.
No. It's
Yeah,
just
as soon as you
impossible.
said
We're
it,
just
I, like,
children. We're just.
Look over and I'm like, God
I
damn it.
see. It's always you two. Every time, it's always you two. Try not to laugh. All right, guys, we'll be right back. We're gonna take a break.